Hello everyone, welcome to EduTerrain and a warm good evening to you all. So as part of the regular current affairs MCQ series, today I am going to bring to you the MCQs of 18th July 2024. So without wasting much time, let's start today's session with all that enthusiasm and energy that you have been storing since day long. Before that, I have a small announcement. Since the last few sessions, I have been highlighting more about current affairs course at EduTerrain. Since we were doing MCQs on current affairs, so many of the students have been getting queries that are there any other courses. So here we are to show you what all the courses that are being offered on EduTerrain. As you can see here, we have a general current affairs course quizzes only that I used to highlight. We also have an ESA comprehensive course. This is exclusively for RBI grade B as well as NABARD grade A or B. One ARD static course, and we have an ARD comprehensive course, static exclusively static, ARD current affairs exclusively current affairs, and comprehensive would be both put together, that is ARD static plus current affairs. So these are the various courses, and this is free content course where you can find all the free content related to these 5 courses, okay, in this, okay. This is all. So let's start today's session. If you want more, if you want information or more, if you want to know more about these courses and their course offerings, etc., you can always download the app, EduTerrain app from Google Play Store, and you can go through the content to see its quality. You can go through the free course content wherein you can see the quality of the videos, quality of the content, the MCQs, quizzes, everything. Okay, so let's start today's session. The first question: where was Uttarakhand's first ever bird gallery established? Now, Uttarakhand has launched its first ever bird gallery very recently. Okay, and this they have launched in. Yes, this is all about high resolution images, as you can see here, of various birds that are present in Uttarakhand, and also this will provide the visitors a captivating display of the Uttarakhand's avian inhabitants, that is their birds. Now this has been launched in Dehradun, okay, in Dehradun at the Nature Education Center Jolly Grant in Dehradun, and this was launched on July 15th. Moving on to our next question: which organization hosted the SYNCHN, that is Synergy in Science Built Through Elements of Collaboration for High Quality Data and Expertise in NCR Biotech Cluster? Now this was a meet that was conducted on July 14th, 2024. Now where was or who conducted this? Yes, this was majorly done to enhance the academia industry collaborations within the NCR, that is National Capital Region Biotech Cluster, with a focus on advancing in biomanufacturing. Now this was done by the THSTI, that is the Translational Health Science and Technology Institute. Now this particular institute is under the Biotechnology Research and Innovation Council, that is BRIC. BRIC. Now this BRIC is under the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, that has conducted this. As you can see here, on 14 July 2024, this was done. Moving on to our next question: in which city was Asia's first health research related preclinical network facility inaugurated? Now this facility majorly was inaugurated as it will serve as a repository providing microbial cultures for research and development to research institutes, universities, industries, etc. That is, all those information or all those repository information about all these microbial cultures, etc. would be found here. Okay, now this facility is Asia's first such health research related preclinical network facility and 9th in the world globally, or you can say globally. Now this was launched at the THSTI Faridabad, okay, the one which we have just done, that is Translational Health Science Technology Institute. As you can see here, this was done, and along with that, a genetically defined human associated microbial culture collection, that is GE HUMIC facility, was also launched. Now this also includes one of the India's largest small animal housing capacity, supporting research on immune compromised mice and various other species. Now all this research would again be helpful for the humans itself on the long run. Moving on to our next question. Very recently, a new portal was launched by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Now, why? To provide complete details of various schemes for beneficiaries. Okay, now what is this scheme? This majorly aims to synergize and transform India's skills, education, employment and entrepreneurship landscape through a comprehensive digital platform where they can get information about all the schemes, right from education chahiye to education, skills, employment or entrepreneurship facilities, all this, and registration on the portal is mandatory. Now this, the portal that we are talking about is the SIDH, that is SIDH, Skilling India Digital Hub. Okay, this is the one that it has launched. Very, very important. Moving on to our next question. Which of the following statements are correct regarding the second Asia Pacific Ministerial Conference on Civil Aviation to be held in India? The conference will take place on September 11th and 12th. Yes, it is true. Representatives from around 40 countries, including China and Pakistan, will attend this event. Yes, this is also true. The conference is jointly organized by the Indian government and the International Civil Aviation Organization of APAC, APAC. Yes, this is also true. Okay, and the first Asia, this is the second meeting. Where was the first held? It was held in 2018, that's true, but not in Tokyo. This was held in Beijing. So only 1, 2 and 3 are true in this case. Okay, so a curtain raiser was conducted on 15th July 2025, as part of which all this information has been released or revealed. Moving on to our next question. What is the updated GDP growth forecast for India by the International Monetary Fund for the financial year 2024-25? Very recently, IMF has released economic growth forecast for the world and various countries, including India. Okay, as part of which it has forecasted for India, it has forecasted, yes, it is 7%, and for global they haven't changed much for 2024, where for global, that is the word, it stands at 3.2% for 2024, and 2025 they are little bit positive, so optimistic, so they have increase that to 3.3%. As you can see here, this is of various countries here highlighted, and here it is India. Okay, 2024 they have projected at 7 and 25 at 6.5. Moving on to our next question. What upper limit for an investor to invest in MSMEs through equity based crowdfunding has been suggested? Now here MSMEs, they all have together requested the Reserve Bank of India to create a regulatory framework for peer-to-peer lending and crowdfunding to address credit gaps, whatever. Okay, and for this they said that a comprehensive framework is needed, including equity based crowdfunding with an upper limit. There they wanted to have an upper limit of how much? 10,000 rupees per investor, and debt based crowdfunding models. Now P2P lending, that peer to peer lending, it is a type of crowdfunding allowing individuals to borrow and lend without a traditional financial institution as an intermediary, that is the peers. They can themselves invest here. And when we talk about equity based crowdfunding, whenever they invest, they have to provide some equity to the persons who are investing there. But here they wanted to, otherwise they can go for IPO or something, but here they don't want that. They want the peer to peer, but at the same time without any involvement of a financial institution. Okay, this is what their thought was. And P2P lending platforms directly connect borrowers with the investors, often providing more accessible loans at lower interest rates compared to the bank loans and various other ways, but which are little bit cumbersome for those small organizations. Moving on to our next question. For how many years has SEBI recognized the Bombay Stock Exchange BSE as a supervisory body for research analysts and investment advisors starting from July 25th, 2024? Very recently, SEBI has approved the BSE as a supervisory body for research analysts and investment advisors. Now, what will happen with this? Now, BSE will establish the bylaws, standard operating procedures, frequently asked questions to guide and facilitate the adoption of various frameworks by these research analysts and investment advisors, and for which they have been appointed from July 25th, 2024 till 5 years. For 5 years they will be honoring this role. Okay, moving on to our last question for today. Which country has been selected to host the board of the Loss and Damage Fund, that fund created by UN talks? Now, when we talk about this loss and damage fund, as you can see in the photograph, they have been agitating to replenish this fund. During COP27, which was conducted in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt in 2022, UN has launched a fund called as Loss and Damage Fund to address irreparable climate-driven damages from drought, floods and rising sea levels. Okay, as part of which several countries including the UAE, Germany, Italy and France have pledged. They didn't deposit immediately, but they have pledged around $700 million to the fund. And the US, which has been historically a highest greenhouse gas polluter, it has pledged $17.5 million. Now, why this has been done? See, many a times it happens that the developed countries, they are the ones who are releasing the greenhouse gases, but the brunt is borne by the least developed countries or the poorer countries, but they are not in a position to combat the ill effects of this climate change. So, in order to support those countries, this particular fund has been launched by the or established by the UN, and they asked all the countries to pledge and later deposit the amount in the fund, and that would be utilized in case any drought, any flood or damage occurring due to rising sea levels, etc. Now, as part of which a meeting was held very recently, and here the Philippines has been chosen to host the board of the Loss and Damage Fund created by UN talks aimed at providing financial assistance for those countries to recover and rebuild from the impacts of global warming. Last month only, World Bank's board approved a plan for the bank to act as an interim host of the fund for 4 years. Important. Okay, now so this is all from my end today related to the question. So before taking you through the homework question answer, let me highlight the courses that are being offered by EduTerrain, and these are the various courses which we have highlighted here. Okay, along with the current affairs, general current affairs course quizzes only. Okay, if you want to know more about the courses and the course offerings and various offers that are being currently offered, you can download the app, EduTerrain app from the Google Play Store, and go through the courses. Okay, now the answer to the homework question that was asked yesterday: in which city is East India's first university for physically challenged students being planned? Here, the Jharkhand state government is planning to establish East India's first university specifically for physically challenged students in Ranchi, excuse me, to ensure inclusive higher education opportunities for physically challenged students in Eastern India. Along with that, they are also planning to introduce the Navothan scholarship scheme offering full course fee reimbursement up to 10 lakhs per year for meritorious orphan and physically challenged students. So additionally, rupees 48,000 per year will be provided for lodging and food arrangements for these meritorious orphan and physically challenged students. Okay, so today's question: SEBI has proposed a new asset class very recently to bridge the gap between the portfolio management services and alternate investment funds. In this regard, what is the proposed ticket size of this new asset class that SEBI has proposed? Okay, we'll discuss the answers tomorrow. So these are links to the various social media handles of EduTerrain. So thank you very much once again. Please take good care of yourself. Bye bye. Good night.